You know how people say, you better not mess around or you're going to experience the full weight of the United States military? This is what they're talking about when they say shit like that. This is quite literally the full weight of American military being thrown at this motherfucker right now. Dudes, to be honest, I don't remember much of the like this title just struck me, bro. I either just forgot or I legit just never learned this in school. I learned about the Panama Canal, man, but I feel like it was just like I just learned about it in a sense of like all the good things that it provided, like all the benefits of it. It's just like one insane shortcut that'll save you a lot of time and fuel and just a headache. Dog, I read the title and I saw 27,000. So I was like, yeah, I didn't learn that at all. I don't think we covered that. But maybe we did. I don't know. I was really into history in high school. It was one of my favorite subjects, that and science. But, and on top of that, it's no excuse, but dude, this happened when I was born. 1989. Titled 27,000 US troops storm Panama in one night. People are thinking that we're like hella badass because we just dropped into Venezuela and snatched up Maduro. When in reality, bro, we've been able to do this for a hot minute. We just don't have to do it often. It's not like we're invading every summer, even though that's what it feels like sometimes. Especially with like the rotations for Iraq and Afghanistan, it really did feel like it was never gonna end, huh? We're gonna learn a lot here. At least I am. I don't know about y'all. This is before my time, but still during my time, if that makes sense.
December 1989, the invasion of Panama.
Technically, I was alive already.
The invasion of Panama. 4 U.S. military officers take a wrong turn in Panama City. Panamanian troops open fire. Marine Lieutenant Robert Paz is killed. The dictator, Manuel Noriega, drug trafficker, CIA asset turned rogue, had just declared war on the United States. 4 days later, 27,000 American troops launched a coordinated assault across Panama.
4 days. 4 days! That's all it took. Damn. Okay, dude, there's a lot to unpack right there already.
Panama City. Panamanian troops open fire.
That right there is what pretty much lit the fuse, I feel. I don't know who can say how it would have gone either way. Let's just say this never happens. What is the future of Panama? What does it look like and how does it evolve? We don't know, but that is the match that lit the fire. I'd like to say.
Military officers take a wrong turn in Panama City. Panamanian troops open fire. Marine Lieutenant Robert Paz is killed. The dictator, Manuel Noriega, drug trafficker, CIA asset turned rogue.
You used to be a CIA asset, which means that you at the very least had immunity of some kind with the US government, and you decided to flush that down the toilet. You fool. You threw away a friendship with a very, very powerful friend. For what? And then you laughed in the face of these dead soldiers. You could have just been like, oh man, you know what? I fired those guys. They were a little bit trigger happy. That was an accident. We apologize on behalf of all of us. Won't happen again. And I feel like none of this transpires. Or maybe it does. Who knows? But yeah, you don't just do something like that and then you laugh in our face and get away with it.
The dictator, Manuel Noriega, drug trafficker, CIA asset turned rogue, had just declared war on the United States. 4 days later,
Why would you burn that bridge? I don't understand. That's so short-sighted and so dumb, and I feel like it's ego-driven, and motherfucker really thought he was superior to the United States.
27,000 American troops launched a coordinated assault across Panama, the largest U.S. combat operation since Vietnam. Their mission? Dismantle his army, secure the Panama Canal, restore elections, and bring the dictator to justice. But as the night sky filled with paratroopers,
I like the list of priorities. He can come last. There's a lot of important shit that needs to happen here. I'm so glad I'm watching this. I'm gonna learn a lot of new stuff.
their mission? Dismantle his army, secure the Panama.
Man, I'd like to hear from service members that served in Panama that had anything to do with this, that had a hand. I don't care if you were a cook. You cooked for somebody that did something, right? So I'd love to know because this is, I feel like This is a forgotten war, man, really, for the most part. And in 80 years, I feel like it's going to be the same thing with Afghanistan. People will just forget, and the only way you're going to remember is if you come across a YouTube video like this. But would love to hear from y'all, man. What was the environment like? What was in the air? You know, what was your relationship with the people? And because dude's a fucking dictator. I have to imagine that they ain't really like this motherfucker either. So they probably looked at y'all like, yo, y'all got the green light. Go try to fuck this guy up. I don't know. See.
Since Vietnam. Their mission? Dismantle his army, secure the Panama Canal, restore elections, and bring the dictator to justice. But as the night sky filled with paratroopers, Noriega vanished. This is Operation Just Cause,
Little coward.
the hunt for the man they called Pineapple Face.
Operation Just Cause is such a badass name.
If you want to understand why the United States invaded Panama in 1989, you have to start with the canal, because the Panama Canal isn't just a waterway.
Dude, it is super important. I feel like I undersold it at the very beginning of the video. It is of great key importance, not just for the people of Panama, but for us, bro. Us. And we're not the only one that uses it. Foreign countries also use it from time to time, but America has the most vested interest, I feel, in this place.
It's the hinge of the Western Hemisphere, a shortcut that turns a 13,000-mile voyage around South America into a 40-mile sprint between oceans.
That's like the one key piece of information that always springs up to the top of my mind when it comes to the Panama Canal. Yeah, that right there. It's just like, you can either do it the hard way or the Panama Canal way. So
whoever secures the canal secures the flow of global trade and American naval power. But building it? The French tried first in 1881, fresh off their triumph with the Suez Canal. Mudslides, engineering mistakes, and tropical disease killed tens of thousands of workers.
So it didn't go on without a hitch, that's for sure. And y'all wanted to set your sights on...
effort collapsed in bankruptcy and graves. Then, in 1903...
anything for progress, am I right? Crazy.
...collapsed in bankruptcy and graves. Then, in 1903, came the United States. With better engineering, disease control, and logistics, Washington bankrolled a Panamanian independence movement, funding rebels to break away.
But still.
U.S. Navy ships blockaded Colombian troops from intervening. In exchange for American support, Panama handed over the right to build, operate, and essentially govern a 10-mile-wide strip called the Canal Zone. The canal finally opened in 1914, and by the late 20th century, nearly 40% of all U.S. container traffic passed through it. For decades, thousands of American families lived there. U.S. bases...
and hey, Panama benefited too from us being there.
U.S. schools, U.S. law. But by the 1970s, that political ground was starting to shake. In the 1960s and 70s, Panama was under the rule of General Omar Torrijos, a populist strongman who, nonetheless, managed to negotiate peacefully with Washington. The 1977 Torrijos-Carter treaties promised that the U.S. would gradually hand over control of the canal by the year 2000, but also guaranteed America the right to defend it from threats.
Okay. See, that's what I meant when I said a vested interest in the canal, and that's what that is.
On paper, stability was preserved.
It just doesn't really feel, on paper, it doesn't really seem like it benefits us all that much at all. For the exception of just us using it, but it's not ours. Worst comes to worst. At the end of the day, Panama could say, fuck off. I feel. Given what I just read and how that paperwork is worded. I could be wrong. But there's nothing legitimate. There's no legitimate ownership on our part when it comes to that. It's like a free zone that we can operate in, but I just feel like at any moment, if Panama really wanted to, it would go against their best interest, but they could be like, fuck off, you're never using this shit again. And what could we do, honestly? What could we do about it? It's owned by their government. But
But lurking behind Forjillos was a man the world barely knew. A quiet, disciplined intelligence officer trained partly by the United States. A man who built files on his enemies and friends, whose nickname inside the Panamanian military was
Culebra? Should have called him Culebra.
Pineapple Face.
Because what they just described, fucking snake. I mean, listen to this resume, guys. God, I wouldn't trust this dude as far as I could throw him.
Stability was preserved. But lurking behind Forjillos was a man the world barely knew. A quiet, disciplined intelligence officer trained partly by the United States. A man who built files on his enemies and friends.
Miss USA was looking good that
Trained
year.
partly by the United
Look at that. Nice.
States. A man who built files on his enemies and friends, whose nickname inside the Panamanian.
Or maybe that just comes with the territory of just being in intelligence. Would love to hear from somebody in intelligence. Did you make files on your own friends?
Military was Pineapple Face. Manuel Antonio
Good
Noriega.
God. Yeah.
Noriega entered the Panamanian National Guard
More like pineapple pizza face.
in the 1960s after training at military schools in Peru and at the U.S. Army School of the Americas in the Canal Zone.
Oh, okay.
Noriega became
So he took advantage of our presence in the country.
a key ally to Torrijos, assisting him in the 1968 military coup that overthrew President Arnulfo Arias. For his loyalty, he was quickly promoted to become Chief of Military Intelligence under Torrijos, a role that brought him into close contact with the U.S. Central Intelligence Agency.
Is that George right there? George Sr.? Is that you?
He became a paid informant for the CIA, providing intelligence to the U.S. in its fight against communism, especially with
So where did it go wrong? Why did you all of a sudden decide to throw away this golden friendship with the US that you had, man? Like,
Cuba and
We're gonna find out.
Nicaragua. When Torrijos died in a mysterious 1981 plane crash,
Mysterious? I think we all know. We all know now. I mean, at the time, nobody probably suspected, but I'm already suspecting.
a crash many in Panama suspected Noriega was involved with,
Oh, okay, cool. Thanks. Good. I'm not the only one.
Noriega moved fast. Rivals disappeared. Many were murdered outright.
Wow.
By 1983, General Noriega took full control of the Panama Defense Forces, or
This is what happened. You're a piece of shit. You got greedy. You couldn't wait to climb through the ranks, so what you did is you eliminated the ranks so that the only one that remained was you. That ain't the way to do it. That's not how we do it in the US of A. You gotta fucking earn it, or at the very least, kiss enough ass to get it. So, but nah. You just like, when it comes to eliminating your competition, bro, you took that shit seriously. That's what happened. You're just a turd bag and a half. And you figured you successfully did all this. You were probably feeling yourself. You decided that you were going to get ballsy with the US of A. Bad career move. You probably could have just stayed being a piece of shit to your people. But you decided to fuck around and find out, man.
PDF, and began turning Panama into a personal fiefdom built on bribery, torture, and backdoor deals with drug cartels. Once seen as a useful asset during the Cold War, the relationship was about to implode.
And at some point, man, if you didn't like cause America to do something about it, they would have done something about it eventually, because, you know, they're at this current juncture in the video and at this current moment in time, they're in business with you because of the canal, right? And they have property there. They have schools there. They have buildings there. They have everything, man. Logistics, all of it, right? And so now America's like put in this weird spot where it's just like other countries are looking at America. Yo, you friends with these people? Like, legit, what's going on here? So even if, I feel like America would have done something regardless. They would have done something anyways. Because you went too far, man. And you used to be an asset. And think of all of the nice gestures that America would have offered you in the future. Think of all of the benefits. That's like, I mean, goddamn, dude, this is like all of a sudden you become best friends with a billionaire, and then you decide to just burn that relationship. This motherfucker was buying you everything, and all of a sudden you're just like, nah. You turn your nose up and you're like, fuck you. Ego of the highest magnitude.
By the mid-1980s, General Noriega wasn't just a dictator. He was a liability. His intelligence service carried out surveillance, disappearances, and extrajudicial killings. Human rights groups estimate his regime was responsible for over 100 political murders and hundreds of disappearances. Then in 1985 came the crime that shocked the region: the abduction and decapitation of Dr. Hugo Spadafora, a beloved surgeon and fierce critic of Noriega.
Huh?
His mutilated body was left near the Costa Rican border.
That's crazy.
The message was clear: oppose Noriega and you die horribly. The brutality shocked Latin America and finally set off alarms in Washington.
I figured.
At the same time,
There's
U.S.
just no
intelligence
way. They're not
uncovered
gonna let that
extensive
shit
evidence
slide.
tying Noriega to the Medellin cartel, helping smuggle cocaine.
And you know what? A lot of people, and I get it, man, sometimes we meddle. I understand where y'all are coming from, but if you were in the Oval Office, what would you do? What would you do? This country used to be your friends. This country used to help you and used to help you. It used to be like a symbiotic relationship. And now because of this one fucking guy, civilians, both Panamanian and American, are suffering the price. What would you do? I know that a lot of people like to sit here and talk shit like America's always getting involved in everything. Bro, I get it, man. And in some instances, I agree. I do. But come on now. You can't.
Cocaine north and launder cartel profits through.
And look at. Hold on. Oh no. At first glance, that did look like Escobar's ass.
To the Medellin cartel, helping smuggle cocaine north and launder cartel profits through Panamanian banks. He funneled cash into weapons, luxury residences, and private militias called dignity battalions, essentially street enforcers loyal only to Noriega.
Oh my god, see, but I hate any country that does that shit. Man. Sometimes it's still uncomfortable for me to look at the younger faces of the lower ranks today and see how young they look. But I was the same age, but that's ridiculous. That's a 12-year-old kid. I despise any country that uses people this young. I just cannot stand it, and I think you're fucking pathetic and cowardly. And ugh, may God have mercy on your soul, bro.
In 1988, a federal grand jury indicted him on drug trafficking and racketeering charges. Suddenly, Panama wasn't a country anymore, and America's useful asset was now a wanted man. Yet he still commanded an army that held one of the most important waterways on Earth. U.S.-Panama relations deteriorated fast. The Reagan administration made Noriega an offer: step down, leave Panama, and the U.S. would drop the drug charges.
Which he should have taken, because America is not notorious for negotiating with terrorists or dictators or any shithead that thinks that he wants to impose his will on the world or just on people in general. So I feel like that was a very generous offer that didn't need to be given. Like, again, we could have just gone in there and yoinked your ass like Maduro. I don't know. I don't know if that type of operation works out the same way here in the 90s as it did just a couple of months ago. Technology is different, equipment's different, tactics are different. So, but I don't know.
Vice President Bush opposed the deal publicly. Noriega refused. Instead,
Hold on, let me go back.
down, leave Panama, and the U.S. would drop the drug charges. Vice President Bush opposed the deal publicly. Noriega refused. Instead, he cracked down harder. In May 1989, Panamanians went to the polls. International observers, including the Carter Center, confirmed that opposition leader Guillermo Endara won in a landslide victory, receiving
R.I.P. Guillermo. It was real, homie.
71% of the votes, compared to 28% for Noriega's hand-picked candidate, Carlos Duque. Noriega simply annulled the election and unleashed his dignity battalions to beat opposition leaders on live television.
That's fucking
Later that
nuts.
year, with US-backed assurances, one of his own officers, Major Moises Garoldi, tried a coup. It failed. Noriega executed him and the rest of the conspirators and purged the ranks, tightening his grip. The US began reinforcing its existing military
You're gonna start to have detractors. I have to imagine he had detractors, people that went and gave information to the American side.
garrison in Panama, increasing the troop presence and conducting exercises to prepare for potential intervention. Then, on December 15, 1989, Noriega delivers a speech announcing that Panama was in a state of war with the United States and declared himself the Jefe Maximo, or maximum leader. He declared,
Look at all these buffoons clapping. I'm sorry, but dog, do y'all not pay attention? Like,
that American lives were now legitimate targets, saying the bodies of our enemies would float down the Panama Canal and the people of Panama would win control over the waterway.
that's pretty much a declaration of war. Yeah.
In a country where more than 35,000 US citizens lived and where American troops protected the canal, that was a line no American president could ignore.
Yeah.
Strongman of Panama, Manuel Noriega, is the #1 drug trafficker in the Americas.
I'm an ex-Marine. I think they should go down there and kick the hell out of Noriega. He's a drug-running son of a...
Keep in mind that the U.S. CIA trained Noriega. He certainly seemed to have turned on the U.S.
I don't think it's the role of the United States government to be invading foreign countries every time we disagree with their policies.
American
What? Liberal. You fucking fairy. No one's disagreeing with policies. Dog, brother, he's murdering people. He's using child soldiers. He's committing political violence. And now he's targeting American families that live in the country that were there under peaceful conditions until this fuckstick. Oh.
American troops in Panama have been put on a higher state of readiness, and the White House spokesman says that the president was informed of the incident last night, but there's no comment yet here from Washington.
The very next night, December 16, 1989, Noriega's threats became a reality. 4 unarmed US officers returning from dinner took a wrong turn and drove into a PDF roadblock.
That was it.
When they tried to flee, Panamanian troops opened fire. Marine First Lieutenant Robert Paz was killed. A US Navy officer and his wife, who witnessed
That's interesting.
Lieutenant Robert Paz,
First Lieutenant Robert Paz. I went to basic training with a young fella, my age. Went to basic training with a young guy, had that exact last name, and I've never come across anyone else with that last name except for him. He got in my face one day and bucked at me, and I didn't flinch. After that moment, we became friends, but it started off rocky.
was killed. A US Navy officer and his wife, who witnessed the event, were detained. Interrogators blindfolded and beat the officer while pointing a gun to his head, while other guards sexually threatened his wife. The next day,
That's why y'all got 27,000 US troops storming your shit right there. You could have just not done any of that. You could have just played ball with America. You could have just been cool with being really, really close friends and chummy with a world superpower. But nope, you just had to be a douchebag. That's it, man. And it doesn't matter where you come from, nobody likes a douchebag.
George H.W. Bush ordered the invasion. For years, the Pentagon's plan for Panama
Which is funny because George W. Bush ordered the invasion, but George W. Bush spoke out publicly against the negotiations that Reagan was trying to do with Noriega. Wasn't that George as well? And then he's the one that he kind of has to, bro. He doesn't really have a choice, man. Whether he changed his mind or whether he was bullshitting or whether he just denounced it publicly, but behind closed doors, he was pretty much in the same. I don't know, man, but that's just interesting.
Codenamed Blue Spoon, was slow and cautious. To execute a rapid strike, President Bush replaced the existing commander with General Maxwell R. Thurman, known in the ranks as Mad Max, even though he was days from retirement.
Oh, shit.
Thurman scrapped the old plan. He demanded a new strategy of overwhelming surprise and force, renaming the operation Just Cause.
Yeah.
Thurman immediately put all 12,000 U.S. troops already in Panama into battle gear, increased patrols, and accelerated the timeline from weeks to mere days. The military had 5 clear objectives: safeguard U.S. citizens,
Number 1.
restore democracy by reinstating Indara, protect the Panama Canal,
3.
and bring Noriega to justice. The massive movement of troops began on Tuesday, December 19th. The largest airborne
Were we doing this dead or alive, or are we strictly capping this fucker? Are we just gonna cap him? Or just gonna capture him?
The massive movement of troops began on Tuesday, December 19th, the largest airborne operation since World War II.
Yeah.
In Panama, U.S. soldiers moved into position. Over 27,000 U.S. troops, including U.S. Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force, and Coast Guard, were deployed against the PDF's 15,000 total troops.
I'm just laughing because I know the implications. Dude, like, I know what's gonna happen here.
With only 4,000 considered combat soldiers. Over 200 aircraft, including massive C-141 and C-5 transports, participated in the
Yo, C-5s are huge. Those things not only can transport troops, those things can transport tanks.
airlift, with F-15s and F-16s flying combat air patrols to deter any Cuban or Nicaraguan interference. General Carl Steiner, commander of Joint Task Force South, set H-hour for 0100 on December 20th to exploit the U.S. advantage of night fighting.
Early in the morning, we're really good at what night
CBS
is.
News commented on the deployment. PDF headquarters began alerting units. Draw your weapons. Get out.
And that's why American military is so powerful. It's not because of the guns, man. I mean, yeah, we have strong shit. And it's not because of our technology. Yeah, we have that too. It's our ability to get 27,000 fucking troops from one place to another in a very fast time frame, in a very small window. That, dude, the logistics in that alone is harder than just aiming your weapon at someone and shooting at them and killing them, right? That shit is just not a lot of militaries can do that, man. And not only can we do it to Panama, we can do it around the globe.
Out on the field, start shooting when they come over. Block the runways. Due to detected PDF activity, Steiner accelerated his strike by 15 minutes. Operation Just Cause was launched at 00:4500 hours on December 20th, 1989, with simultaneous strikes on 27 key targets. The U.S. hit the ground in 3 major movements: airborne assaults to seize key airfields, direct strikes on Noriega's command centers, and special operation raids on high-value targets, prisons, and intelligence sites.
There's really nothing
At
you
Rio
can do to
Hato
help them,
military airfield, home to 2 elite PDF battalions and the largest Panamanian Defense Forces base in the country, the attack began with something never seen before in combat: 2 F-117 Nighthawks. The stealth fighters dropped 2,000-pound laser-guided bombs 150 yards from barracks, not to kill the troops, but to stun them. When
Yo. Last chance, guys. Last chance. A Nighthawk. The biggest ordnance I ever saw dropped was a JDAM. Sweet baby Jesus. I never saw one of those. That's nuts. That's crazy, and it wasn't even fired with the intent to kill. That just goes to show you who you're fucking with, man.
was shattered. Soldiers stumbled outside, half-conscious. Seconds later, Rangers from the 75th Ranger Regiment quickly jumped from only 500 feet, parachuting into a swirling night battlefield. Bullets traced across the drop zone. The PDF troops fought hard, as these weren't conscripts, they were Noriega's best. It took 5 hours of
But how good are they? Really?
close combat to secure the airfield. Over 250 PDF soldiers surrendered. Meanwhile, at Torrijos,
Not that good. Then again, y'all didn't have the numbers, man. Even if they were on the same footing as a U.S. Army Ranger, doubt it. Even if they were. I mean, dude, straight up numbers, you lose regardless. So,
Tocumen International Airport, Army Rangers seize the runway, soon reinforced by waves of the 82nd Airborne dropping
oh my
in.
God, that's so
Unexpectedly,
terrifying.
the
It's
arrival
like,
of
I know what these units are capable of, bro, and that's so terrifying.
a Brazilian airliner had just landed, trapping 376 international travelers inside the terminal, who were quickly taken hostage by Panamanian soldiers.
Oh, that probably was not part of the plan at all whatsoever. That's unfortunate.
The unexpected presence of hundreds of Portuguese-speaking civilians made the role of the attached civil affairs soldiers crucial, minimizing civilian casualties and negotiating their release.
Yeah,
After a brief standoff, U.S.
it's not a place to fight. You cannot fight.
Army Rangers secured the terminal and successfully freed all the passengers. By dawn, the airport and
Yo, dude, think about it. That could have gone so bad, so fast. So the operation was going amazing, and just think of if they actually get into a tango with these fuckers right here, and all those civilians die. Operation is an immediate failure, even if they succeed, even if they knock off all of those key points that they were trying to hit during the mission briefing. It's a failure, really, for the most part. I mean, grand scheme, win, but immediate fallout, it's a L, really.
the country's main logistics hub belonged entirely to the United States. To the west, at Paitilla Airport, a force of 48 Navy SEALs launched one of the night's hardest missions. Destroy Noriega's private jet and gunboat, preventing any escape.
Yo, dude, that should be a mission in a video game. It really should. But it probably is, just with different characters, different names, with a different plot point. But that's so badass. Navy SEALs got the coolest mission.
At Paitilla Airport, a force of 48 Navy SEALs launched
48 Navy SEAls.
one of the night's hardest missions.
That's a lot.
Destroy Noriega's private jet and gunboat, preventing any escape. Parachuting in with Zodiac boats, they landed in the dark of night. Moments before the assault, a disastrous miscommunication occurred. The order to destroy the jet was suddenly changed to inflict only minimal damage,
Why?
such as slashing tires and cutting wires.
Why?
This vague mandate forced the SEALs onto the exposed tarmac to get closer to the plane than expected. Panamanian forces, already waiting, opened fire.
Nah, that doesn't seem like... I don't buy that at all. And I don't trust that story at all. That doesn't sound right. That doesn't...
Changed to inflict only minimal damage, such as slap.
Why? Why? Because it almost feels like y'all got a bullshit order from someone that was just simply trying to get you killed. This almost seems like someone wanted these Navy SEALs to walk into an ambush when it was just that easy. Destroy the fucking jet. You're... I don't know. It smells wrong.
Slashing tires and cutting wires. This vague mandate forced the SEALs onto the exposed tarmac to get close.
Bro, that doesn't seem like a mistake to me. That doesn't seem like a communication error. It just doesn't. It seems direct. Seems intentional. Miscommunication is like, they said left and I went right. Or I said right and they heard left or something like that. Or maybe the radio's cutting out. Maybe there's a lot of static. That's miscommunication. That is flat out the wrong fucking order. Dude, like, how?
Closer to the plane than expected. Panamanian forces, already waiting, opened fire. The team was caught in a brutal crossfire. 4 elite SEALs were killed and 9 wounded in the minutes-long engagement. Amid the chaos, the SEALs reverted to their original plan. They destroyed the Lear jet with an AT-4 anti-tank
Casualties for no fucking reason.
rocket, eliminating the escape threat and
Oh, look at that. It was that easy. Bruh. Brings me back to the age-old adage, bruh. If you don't actually have a camera or a drone that can see me and you're not here, shut the fuck up, man. I don't need your input because you can't see what I see. You're not here. I've always hated that. The motherfucker that's not there, that can't see what I'm seeing through both my retinas, like, I don't trust you. I trust me more because I'm here and you're not. And fuck off, man. Unless you have a drone that you're looking at that's right next to me, get out. Stop it, bro, because you get shit like this. Dude, like, who gave that order? Let's calm down. Let's reel it back.
Amid the chaos, the SEALs reverted to their original plan. They destroyed the Lear jet with an AT.
It's almost like you should just let operators be operators. Am I right? Holy shit.
4 anti-tank rocket, eliminating the escape threat in one of the deadliest nights in SEAL history.
Damn, look at that. Holy shit, those pilots didn't... Well, there's probably nobody in it, but...
While the firefight raged at the airfield, 4 Navy SEAL divers executed a separate, silent mission beneath the dark waves.
Dog, we are throwing quite literally everything we have. The title does not do this operation any kind of justice at all, whatsoever. Just Cause? Yeah. Dude, holy shit. We have thrown just about every single asset that we have from just about every single branch. I think the only ones that haven't shown up yet are Special Forces and Delta Force.
Swimming toward Noriega's heavily armed gunboat, the Presidente Porras. Using specialized rebreathers that eliminated exhalation bubbles, they planted explosives on the vessel's hull. But PDF guards noticed movement and opened fire, dropping grenades into the water and forcing the divers to take cover beneath a pier. The SEALs remained hidden until their charges detonated, successfully destroying the vessel. As they swam back to their rendezvous point, they heard a large ship approaching overhead, forcing them to descend to a dangerous depth of 40 feet, risking immediate toxicity from the pure oxygen from the specialized rebreathers.
Ooh.
Despite the danger, the divers...
That kind of, that didn't really even occur to me or dawn on me. I'm not a diver. That's a danger I was unaware of.
Survived. The gunboat was destroyed, and Noriega's sea escape was cut off. But the dictator himself was nowhere to be found. Next came the heart of Noriega's empire, La Comandancia, his fortress-like headquarters in Panama City. It instantly became a battlefield lit by tracer fire and tank rounds. Sheridan light tanks airdropped for the
I was about to ask, how the fuck did we get tanks on ground? That's how.
first time in combat history pounded the compound. The AH-64 Apache helicopter saw its combat debut, destroying PDF positions with...
Really? That was the debut of this helicopter? Aw, shit. Aw, shit.
The AH-64 Apache helicopter saw its combat debut, destroying PDF positions with pinpoint Hellfire missile strikes. Despite this, PDF fought back fiercely, downing 2 special operation helicopters and forcing 1 MH-6 Little Bird to crash land in the Panama Canal.
Not bad. That's... Hey.
The PDF and
I'll give praise when there's praise to be given. Not bad.
Dignity battalions made a strong stand, sparking a heavy 3-hour firefight. U.S. forces utilized AC-130 Spectre gunships for strafing runs that silenced PDF machine guns and bunkers, while 28 Army Green Berets successfully pinned down the fierce tigers of
Nope, I was wrong. There's the Special Forces. We're quite literally throwing. You know how people say, you better not mess around or you're going to experience the full weight of the United States military. This is what they're talking about when they say shit like that. This is quite literally the full weight of American military being thrown at this motherfucker right now. That's... I think the only thing we haven't used yet, man, is nuclear ordnance. And that's not... That'll never be necessary in any situation. But goddamn.
Mahita at the Pecora River Bridge, preventing PDF reinforcements from the east.
Dude, this is fucking...
The sustained assault reduced the headquarters to rubble, collapsing the PDF's command structure.
Why hasn't Call of Duty ever done like a campaign on this? It seems like could be some pretty cool missions that could be had with this, man. And you know how Call of Duty loves their AC-130 and gunship missions, right? You can throw that in there too. Be lazy with it like you usually do, right? I don't know. Or maybe they have, and I just haven't played Call of Duty in so long that I just don't know.
Tragically, the fighting ignited massive fires that consumed the nearby El Chorrillo neighborhood. The resulting civilian destruction left thousands homeless and bodies in the streets,
Damn.
and sparked immediate international outrage.
Well, I mean, fuck, dude. Let me guess. We're gonna be the ones to blame, right? Well, you know, sometimes progress hurts. It's always gonna get worse before it gets better. There's only really one person to blame here, but that person's never gonna take responsibility or acknowledge any wrongdoing, so guess where the blame goes? Us. Because we're the only ones willing to respond to it. Really. We're the only ones willing to respond to any of this stuff when it comes to the media and when it comes to the world demanding answers, right? So, naturally, that's where the blame is going to go.
U.S. troops get out.
Concurrent with the attack on La Comandancia was Operation Acid Gambit.
I mean, past the point of no return.
Just down the street stood Modelo Prison, where America...
Because again, man, if we don't intervene, then again, all these countries are going to be like, well, look at America. They're right next door, not doing a goddamn thing. And the canal's half theirs. They should be helping those poor people. Like, imagine if America would have been like, actually, you know what, Noriega? Fine. We're just going to evacuate all of our people. Have fun. Have at it. People are going to look at us sideways. Why didn't you help? Why did you pull out your people, but you just left those people there to suffer under the rule of Noriega? Damned if you do, damned if you don't. It's like, it's unwinnable, bro. It's like one of the cons of being a service member or just being in the military or just doing anything that involves this period.
And Kurt Muse was held hostage for running anti-Noriega radio broadcasts. Moments before H hour, 23 Delta Force operators...
There's Delta Force. We brought in everybody, bro. We brought in the whole squad. Jesus.
Were inserted onto the prison roof by MH-6 Little Bird helicopters.
Birds. That's the only way they roll.
A nearby sniper team killed the lights by taking out a generator, leaving the prison pitch black. The Delta team breached the rooftop door with explosive charges, taking down PDF guards in seconds. After twice failing to shoot off the lock on Muse's cell door, a small C6 explosive finally blew it open. Muse was freed, rushed back to the roof, and whisked into a helicopter. The entire...
Yo, what a clean extraction. That was nice.
Operation taking only 6 minutes.
Whew! I knew it. It felt fast, but I didn't know if it was editing or just whatever, but yeah. Damn!
But enemy fire found the aircraft with Muse on board, forcing a violent crash landing in the dark streets of Panama City. Delta operators use an infrared strobe light to signal an overhead gunship for cover. Within minutes, an M113 armored carrier arrived to extract Muse and the entire retrieval team. Every man and Muse survived.
That's fucking insane. Oh my god. But still, dude, that extraction, that is impressive. That is one to be remembered right there. That one just might live rent-free in the back of my head. 6 minutes. That's fast, dude. I think that their training takes longer than what that took. Like, whenever they're running mock drills or like dry runs, shit.
Marking one of Delta Force's most celebrated rescues.
Dude.
Following the initial assaults, Noriega was gone. But from somewhere in the city, his voice filled the
Run. You can't hide, though.
airwaves.
Because while, yeah, there is probably people here in Panama that are mad, like, America needs to get out, I'm pretty sure there's also people that want this motherfucker dead so shit can just get back to normal. Because as soon as this motherfucker gets captured or capped, then America fucks off. They leave. They cease operations. Usually how it goes.
Calling for resistance, urging his people to fight.
To all Panamanians, this is General Manuel Antonio Noriega. We are in our combat trenches. Greetings. We are going to keep up the resistance. Our rallying cry, we ask the world. We ask material aid from other countries. Men, dignity, strength. We ask the world for this help today.
What a delusional ass man.
Not to step backwards, and to come forward the victors.
For several days, Noriega successfully evaded U.S. forces, moving around Panama City, while troops searched his command centers, his beach house, and even the villa of a mistress he was known to frequent. The searches offered a glimpse into the dictator's bizarre world.
Bitch had a Got a pistol under the bed, man. Yeah. She definitely knows him. Or has
His
been in
many
contact.
residences were packed with evidence of corruption and superstition. Over $8 million in cash, an arsenal of weapons, valuable art, including a large painting of Muammar Gaddafi, Hitler figurines, and a large pornography collection.
This dude was a perpetual gooner that idolized all the wrong people.
Most chillingly, soldiers recovered a witch's diary detailing sessions with Brazilian practitioners of black magic, intended to grant him protection. The dictator remained at large for 4 agonizing days.
The only thing that will protect you from America is if you become our ally.
Noriega made a critical phone call to Monsignor Laboa at the Vatican Embassy, the Apostolic Nunciature, seeking refuge and threatening to wage a bloody guerrilla war if refused.
You threaten the Vatican? Give me asylum or I wage war against you? My man, you can't even afford to defend yourself against the war that's currently being waged against you. What do you mean?
Given only 10 minutes to decide, Laboa gambled. He allowed Noriega to enter, but secretly intended to convince him to surrender, rather than
And I would have secretly fucking told on his ass. What do you mean? I'm not about to get held up on charges of obstruction of justice. Then again, it's international at this point, so...
grant political asylum. On Christmas Eve, Noriega, accompanied by 4 officers, surrendered their weapons and walked into the embassy. The dictator was sequestered in a peaceful yet inescapable room, spending his time reading the Bible and desperately trying to arrange passage to Cuba or Spain.
Anything to get away from the Americans.
The U.S. Army immediately surrounded the compound. To avoid violating international law with a direct assault, General Thurman ordered a psychological operation known as the Music Siege. The 4th Psychological Operations Group erected massive speakers and blasted relentless rock music at the embassy, while also creating a sound barrier to prevent reporters from eavesdropping on sensitive negotiations with Laboa.
I like this general. What was his name again?
General Thurman ordered
General Thurman. What was it? Mad Max Thurman? I think that's his name. I like this guy. I like his style. I like the way he moves.
a psychological
I did not know this. Bro, there's just so much shit in here that I didn't learn in school when it came to the Panama Canal and the history of it.
operation known as the Music Siege.
This is fucking... This is
The 4th Psychological Operations Group erected massive speakers and blasted relentless rock music at the embassy.
Now, what kind of rock music are we talking about? Like, any bands? I would love to know the bands that were played.
While also creating a sound barrier to prevent reporters from eavesdropping on sensitive negotiations with Laboa.
Hell yeah.
The sound barrier became a continuous, 24-hour high-volume broadcast of music. Tracks like Panama by Van Halen, Welcome to the Jungle from Guns N' Roses,
That's so
and Never
good.
Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley were blasted non-stop.
They rickrolled him. Did you hear it? He got rickrolled. Never gonna give you up. To be fair, at the time, I think it wasn't actually known as rickrolling. It was just Rick Astley, Never Gonna Give You Up. It was just a song at that point. There was no... It wasn't a meme yet, but that's just hilarious.
The music drew sharp international condemnation from the Vatican and the diplomatic community.
What do you mean? It's heavenly music. Are you kidding?
Viewing the tactic as irritating and petty.
Irritating and petty. You know, because our original plan was to just go in there and shoot him. So, like, dude, come on! Come on! Damned if you do, damned if you don't, man. I swear to God, I took these very same offhanded tactics when I was in Afghanistan. There was times where I knew that I couldn't pull the trigger. They knew that I couldn't pull the trigger. But I could swing this metal pipe that I found in my truck, and they would promptly fuck off if I swung it at them, right? So, like, I mean, dude, we're built to kill, and then we don't kill and choose another method, and y'all still get mad? Ugh, blow it out your ass, dog, really.
President George H. Bush expressed concern. General Powell subsequently ordered General Thurman to stop the rock music.
Oh, come on. Y'all are just so just deserve better, General Thurman.
At General Powell's urging, Panamanian Democratic leaders appealed directly to the Vatican.
Which is so funny, America getting bent out of shape just because they get a little bit of criticism from the world media outlets, knowing good and goddamn well that that very same tactic is used at Guantanamo Bay all the fucking time. But because the world saw it and a couple fucking reporters and a couple of activists got sad and cried some tears, guys, CNN and Fox News and MSNBC, they said that they're offended by the music. I know. Exactly. I know. I told them that we just got done bombing their whole fucking country, so what's a little bit of loud music? At least we're not bombing them, right? But just turn off the music, guys. Oh my god, dude. What the fuck? So fucking soft.
Panamanian bishops, after reviewing Noriega's residences and learning about his practice of witchcraft and voodoo from his witch's diary, wrote to Pope John Paul II, detailing his crimes and urging his release. The final pressure and surrender came on January 3rd, 1990. A crowd of 10,000 people formed a massive anti-Noriega rally near the embassy. Monsignor Laboa...
Oh, good. Good. I'm glad to see y'all out there. Fuck that guy.
gave Noriega an ultimatum.
Hold on, let me go back.
1990. A crowd of 10,000 people formed a massive anti-Noriega rally near the embassy. Monsignor Laboa gave Noriega an ultimatum. Leave voluntarily or lose diplomatic immunity. If U.S. troops don't enter, an angry mob might. After 10...
So, who would you rather die to? The Americans or your own people? Definitely don't want to end up like fucking Gaddafi, that's for sure. He got his ass beat all the way to his execution. That was crazy, bro. I had never seen anything like that. That was Gaddafi, right? Bro, they were just taking him to his execution and beat his ass all the way there. They just could not wait to kill this man. And I'm just like, that's what you get. I smiled from ear to ear because I love seeing that kind of shit. I love seeing people get what they got coming to them.
Days of humiliation and fear, Noriega finally conceded.
Yo, they even put a pineapple right there. That's hilarious.
At 8:45 p.m. on January 3rd, 1990, Noriega walked out, was immediately handcuffed by U.S. troops, and was arrested by DEA agents on existing federal drug trafficking indictments. He was found guilty and spent decades in prison, returning to Panama in 2011 for the remainder of his...
You could have brought prosperity to the people of Panama with the relationship that was established with America, but instead, you shot all over that fucking deal because you're one weird guy. Man, you're just a weird, off guy, idolizing all the wrong people.
Sentence. Jailed for murder, corruption, and embezzlement during the military's 30-year rule. Eventually passing away in 2017.
You're lucky that you got to live to 83. Lucky. Wow, it's crazy how we do that, man. These dictators, like some of the most evil men in history, we have allowed to live out full lives. 83, 84. Brother, if at any point you were a fucking vindictive ass warlord or a dictator and you get captured, you shouldn't live a day past captivity. That's it. Once they get you, next day, gone, man. Just like the kitty abusers. Just like the kid touchers, right? Same, dude. There's like there shouldn't be, because like, what about the victims of this guy? They get to live to 83. They get to live full lives, right? No. Snuffed out. In their prime. Sometimes even younger than their prime. Have to imagine quite a few children in the mix of all that death.
Guillermo Endara, the rightful election winner whom Noriega tried to beat into silence, was sworn in.
I cannot believe this man is still alive. He had a very good security team during all this.
Under U.S. protection during the invasion's opening hours.
Or maybe he was being protected by America.
From invasion to capture, it took only 42 days, but not without a cost. American casualties totaled 23 killed, with over 300 wounded. With 2 dead and 19 wounded as victims of friendly fire.
That's gonna happen in nighttime operations?
While PDF losses were 300...
I know we got night vision, but dude, fog of war and just the chaotic nature of it and the fast-paced nature of combat. That's one thing that caught me off guard, is just how fast-paced everything was at first. And then I had to like just It was mainly just adrenaline. But once you get used to it and you calm down, it actually like levels out, man. But like my first couple of just like adrenaline pumping encounters, everything felt like it was moving 1,000 miles an hour, dude. And I was like struggling to keep up. But
Casualties totaled 23 killed, with over 300 wounded, with 2 dead and 19 wounded as
I mean, again, got to give some props to the PDF. They put up a fight. It's not like they were completely incompetent. They weren't no pushovers either, but these are still piss poor ass numbers. But hey, again, given the fact that they were outnumbered significantly and we threw basically just about every major important asset that our military has to offer, including a fucking Nighthawk, at this operation, the fact that they managed to kill that many, wound that many, it's, hey man, bravo. That's somewhat of a worthy adversary.
with 2 dead and 19 wounded as victims of friendly fire. While PDF losses were 314 dead and thousands captured, civilian deaths remain heavily disputed. Official Pentagon figures estimate around 200 civilian deaths.
Oh, that's not that bad. I mean, like, what's the population of Panama? If the population of Panama is 500, that's catastrophic, but I doubt it. You know what I mean? Plus 200, I mean, it doesn't seem that bad to me. It could have been worse, and given the scale of the operation, how much firepower was used, how many operatives were in the area, how many different branches of the U.S. military were boots on ground, it's not that bad. 10,000 people showed up to say fuck Noriega, and you mean to tell me that we're still the bad guys in this situation?
Physicians for Human Rights claimed over 300, while the New York Times estimated thousands.
It's the New York Times, bro. They'll say fucking anything. They would have said 1 billion, but fucking Panama doesn't have 1 billion people. They would, though.
Destruction around El Chorrillo, where Comandancia burned, left thousands homeless. Looting erupted as the PDF collapsed. Stores and banks were ransacked. Street gangs filled the vacuum until U.S. troops restored order. Panama began the long road back to democracy.
1 year ago, the people of Panama lived in fear under the thumb of a dictator. Today, democracy is restored. Panama is free.
But the world, its reaction was anything but unified. The United Nations
It always is, man. Always. Even if it just makes all the sense in the world. Hey, bad guy imposing his will on all these people, right? Genocide, murder, extortion, bribery, just heinous. Even if it's that cut and dry, even if it's that black and white, bad guy doing bad things, let's go kill the bad guy. We do that and it's still a problem. I never understand it. I just like, you can't just expect us to be the fucking world's babysitter and the world's janitor, and then when we fucking take care of something or clean something up, we're the bad guys again. I mean, fuck, man. Why do we even help? Why do we even get involved? Why do we even try to do the right thing by other people? Because it's the right goddamn thing to do, regardless how fucking sensitive you are. That's why.
and the Organization of American States both condemned the invasion as a violation of sovereignty. Yet for
Well, let's ask the people of Panama. That's something that we never do, right? It's just like, oh, this, and this. Meanwhile, these people are straight up fucking happy that motherfucker's gone. That way they can get back to some sense of normalcy. Yet everyone on the other side of the world is panicking and freaking the fuck out, acting like it's the end of the world.
many Panamanians brutalized under Noriega,
It just like, it baffles me that people flinch so much at liberation. So why are you blinking? Why are you flinching in the face of something good happening? Something's wrong with you, man. It's just like, that. How can you look at that and be mad? You know how many lives were saved? Yes, I know lives were lost, but that's what happens in a combat zone. Think about the lives that were saved. Think about the future lives that are now going to be born because of that. Because people that would have died under Noriega now get to live because he's gone. But nobody ever thinks of it like that, and I just don't know why. It's all about the here and now and what's wrong and what's fair and what's People just get wrapped up in dumb bullshit that don't matter.
The collapse of the regime was an immense relief.
Oh, wow, look at that. That's in Panama, and they're holding up an American flag, yet we're the worst. Godly, bro. I hate the perception that we get. It gets on my nerves sometimes.
The canal transitioned peacefully to Panamanian control
Oh, wow,
in
look at
1999.
that. And we decided to give it back. Could have just been some assholes and kept it. Nah, remember how we helped you? Nah, this is our parting gift. Nope. But we're evil, which condemn us to hell and back. Meanwhile, we fucking freed this place. Got it.
And generates over $3 billion annually today. The country has maintained a stable democracy for over 3
Wow, look at that. Look at that. Look at what it looks like now. Do y'all think it would look like that right now under Noriega? Every place that America invades ends up looking worse. Yeah, well, look at that. That looks better than some places here in goddamn America, man. So excuse the shit out of me if I don't believe dumb bullshit like that. You're welcome, Panama. You're welcome, world. You just didn't know it at the time because y'all are stubborn dumbasses.
decades, with regular elections, peaceful transitions, and no return to military rule.
I just cannot believe that evil-ass America to the west would go into a country, remove a dictator, and give the local population a better quality of life. I cannot believe anyone would condone such shitty behavior. I don't know, man. Take some kind of silly motherfucker to conjure up some shit like that, if you ask me. Oh my God, what are we even talking about?
Marines and paratroopers returned home in early 1990.
Good job, gentlemen. Firm handshakes all around.
The Berlin Wall was falling.
Oh shit.
The Soviet Union was dissolving.
Oh shit.
And America was entering a new chapter. One where quick, decisive interventions would define U.S. military doctrine. Just months later, many of the same units, Rangers, SEALs,
Kuwait, right? No, Iraq.
the 82nd Airborne, and Delta Force, would deploy again, this time to Saudi Arabia as part of Operation Desert Shield.
My dad fought in Desert Shield, and he also fought in Desert Storm, both operations. He was in Kuwait, he was in Iraq, he did a whole bunch of stuff with tanks. He doesn't tell me much about it, but he was there at that time.
Some view just cause as a dangerous precedent for unilateral intervention. Others see it as necessary justice.
Bro, it's necessary justice. It's not like we're just going into a country that doesn't need our help and imposing our help because we're strong enough to. We don't do that. We only do it for countries that desperately need it. Man, whether they're a friend or a foe, Afghanistan was a foe, but we still went out of our way to help those people. Operation Hearts and Minds. We're not invading Tahiti at the moment. Are we invading Brazil? Are we invading Thailand? Are we invading Australia? No, because these places are working as intended. But if a place starts working like this place is working, the world collectively gets mad about it, and then America does something about it, and then the world gets mad at America. And it's just like, well, what were y'all gonna do? Were y'all just gonna sit there and be mad and let this continue to happen? Because we're the only ones willing to do something, and then we do something, and y'all want to shit on us. Well, you know what, man? Fuck you. That's my whole attitude. It's my whole sentiment, because again...
But the operation sent a clear message. The United States would defend the canal, protect its citizens, and not tolerate a drug-funded dictatorship in its backyard. Panama was small, but its lessons were profound. For better.
And I don't feel like we're too far off from doing the very same thing to Mexico. I don't know if it'll be in my lifetime or whatever, but...
Or worse.
Was it all worth it?
Well, I mean, look at Panama now and look at Panama then. Kind of feels worth it, right?
I don't know how to answer that because I tell you, war is not a good thing.
It's not.
You know, humanity having the ability that God has given us, we should be able to solve things without conflict.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing. That sentiment is the same as gun laws. Law-abiding people will follow it, but the criminals are not going to. So sometimes you're going to need that war and combat to combat these criminals that don't want to follow the same rules that everybody else is following. You know what I'm saying? Noriega didn't want to follow the rules.
And so there's one element that pulls on me saying, you know, war is never worth it. But on the other side, I feel that that could not have been solved in any other way. And I feel
because Noriega wouldn't allow anyone to solve it in any other way. Sometimes you just have to do the thing. It's ugly. It's not pretty. And no one wants for it to happen. But sometimes your enemy doesn't give you a choice. And it's just like self-defense. You don't want to kill anyone. You don't wake up wanting to kill people. But if someone puts you in the position to where it's you or them, brother, I know what you're going to do. You're going to do the same thing I do. You're going to defend yourself. You're going to fucking shoot them.
I feel that, that it was necessary.
I really feel in my heart after being here working with the Panamanian people is Dios bendiga Panama.
God bless Panama.
If you enjoyed this journey through history,
I really did. I'm going to subscribe right now. That was fantastic. I learned a whole bunch of brand new key information that I never knew before, or I didn't remember, or my history teacher flat out just failed or just did not have the time to teach us. Because, again, guys, I know that I like to sit here sometimes and be like, oh, the history teachers didn't teach us this. But, I mean, fuck, man. I was on block scheduling and it was a 9-week semester. You can only pack in so much history. Anyways, I really enjoyed this video. That was fantastic. That was enjoyable. Lots of good information. Lots of stuff that I didn't know. That was fun. Any other topic? Any other instance? Any other history video? Any other battle? Any other war that y'all want to check out? That y'all want to watch together? Let me know. Put it in the comment section. Or better yet, join us on Discord. All right? You can put as many requests as you want in there. It's free to join. It used to be only for patrons, but I opened it up for everybody. Anyways, choice is yours. I'll put the link in the description. So, have a fantastic evening, guys. Thanks for chilling with me. Thanks for hanging. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.
Go, go, go.